Question 7 says, write the expression in standard form for a complex number, which is the a plus bi form. So to put it in the correct form, there cannot be a complex number in the denominator. In other words, you're not allowed to have the I in the denominator. So if we have a 9 minus 4i in the denominator, what we could do is multiply by its conjugate, and that will create what we call a real number. So in talking about a conjugate, if we have 9 minus 4i, then 9 plus 4i is the conjugate. So if this is minus, this has got to be plus. Those sounds have to be different. So when I multiply by the conjugate, I can't just multiply the denominator by 9 plus 4i, but I also got to multiply the numerator by 9 plus 4i. So when I multiply the numerator by 9 plus 4i, I can also multiply the denominator by 9 minus 4i. So really what we have is a binomial times a binomial on the bottom. So in the numerator, 3 times 9 is going to be 27. And 3 times 4 would be 12, so it's going to be 27 plus 12i. In the denominator, keep in mind, again, a lot of times I'll do this with a box. I like to multiply my complex numbers using a box. So I have like this 9 and a negative 4i and a 9 and a positive 4i. Should be a plus 4i there. Plus 4i. So when I multiply through, 9 times 9 is 81. 9 times 4i is 36i. Negative 4i times 9 is negative 36i. And then negative 4i times 4i would be negative 16i squared. Now remember, by definition, though, I squared is equal to a negative 1. So what happens is this actually turns into negative 16 times negative 1, which turns that into a positive 16. So this actually turns into an actual 16. So notice that the 36i and a negative 36i will zero out. So really what we have is 81 plus 16. So 81 plus 16 is going to give me 97. It's same color there. So what we can do now is separate it into two separate fractions. So 27 over 97 plus 12 97ths I. I don't think either one of those fractions reduce. So again, I can go 27 divided by 97 and then hit enter and then hit the math button and turn it into a fraction. And notice how it stays 27 97ths. You also can use the fraction mode, which is the F1 mode. So you could also hit alpha F1 or hit the Y equals button there. You also have this N over D mode. And you could also just type in this 12 over 97. And that'll give you, it doesn't reduce either. So 12 over 97 plus 12 97 psi would be the correct answer. Now, if you want, you can, since this does represent a complex number, you could type in the original problem into the calculator and let it do all the work. So if I do the mode, what I can do is change it from the real mode. I can slide it over to the A plus BI mode, which is the complex mode. Now the calculator has the capability to do complex numbers. So if I quit that, so if I type in then using the F1 button, alpha F1, if I put this in the calculator, 3 on the top, and then 9 minus 4i on the bottom, and then I is above the decimal point. There's a little blue I there. So 3 over 9 minus 4. If I hit enter, it should, let's see here. Did I not hit the minus sign? A lot of times I'll forget that I won't hit the minus sign, I hit the negative sign. So let me see if I can go back down there and hit the minus sign there. See if that'll work for us. So still got error. So did my mode change over? So mode, let's say plus BI. What if this calculator has that capability? Or not? Maybe it's the calculator. Before I do that, though, let me try a different tactic. So if we clear this off here, let's see here, quit. Let's see here. If I type it in as 3 divided by 9 minus 4i, oops. So that does work. Let me see if I can do math, answer a fraction. So yeah, it will change it to 27/97 plus 12/97 side. Let me try it the other way again. Alpha F1 n over D. 3 on the top, 9 minus 4 on the bottom. It doesn't like it that way. Huh, interesting. So, but if I do type it in as 3, let me clear that off. If I do type it as 3 divided by 9 minus 4i, if I treat it as a division problem, yeah, like I said, I was much quicker without the calculator. So math, fraction. So it does do it that way. So yeah, you have to play with it on the calculator, but notice how for me it was probably just quicker to multiply by the conjugate and do it that way.